Hello everyone, Dean here, just giving you a reintroduction, or maybe to some of you an introduction to H5P. You might know it, you might not know it. It's, as it says here, it's richer HTML5 content in publishing platforms. So some of you may have found a lot of interactive content that is in Flash, or some of you may see things that are pre-existing and you think, oh, how do I create that? The two challenges are that Flash is not supported anymore by major software developers, and obviously it's not supported by Apple. And some of you may see content such as this little interactive video here and think, oh my, that would be fabulous in my note. How do I do it? So these content programs are about helping you as teachers, as tutors, create content for obviously the entire, your entire subject as part of a subject team, and also as a teacher. Most of you are teachers, so the idea is, yes, you create the content for use by the program and the rollout, the aptus and the online, but you also have this content to use yourself, freely available for you and your students. So some of you have started, some of you have finished, some of you are just starting. But the vein is still the same, in that if you want to update any of your content, you can. If you want to create new content, you can. If you want to create a lesson for Monday, you can. And H5P is a nice way of doing it. So we have an editor on Notesmaster, and it looks like this. Most of you know that there's a new Notesmaster platform coming this year. It won't be a drastic change aesthetically, so it will look very similar, but it will have a range of new features, and one of them will be a little H5P button here that we can access. Now, why the fuss about H5P? Broadly speaking, it is a free tool, so you can sign up, and once you've signed up, make sure you have an exploration of it. Spend a little time. If you've got a work session tonight or tomorrow to create Note, I would abandon that session and just spend all time looking at H5P, because in the workshops a lot of you say, can I embed PowerPoint? Can I upload a slideshare? Can I do this? Can I do that? And this tool really allows you to do all of that yourself. Now these are OER programs. So the OER content on these programs means that what you create here is usable by everyone. So for example, you would log in, click examples here in downloads. It's free to log in, as I say, and you have a range of really useful and incredibly exciting, and once you've learned it, easy to use content. Some of you may have come across this in Moodle, or if you've got blogs in WordPress, or if you use sites built on Drupal, you can use it. And for example, if you are an English teacher, quite often we get comments of how do we do a comprehension. So this little column tool, if I click column here, it then loads up HTML5 based content, which allows users to add multiple choice, fill in blank tests. So some of the stuff that we were doing on our during our workshop on various quiz creators, but in this example, if it's English or geography or any subject you want to use some pictorial example, you've got an image, got a question, and then you've got what was the purpose of the Kon-Tiki expedition. So the student would read this, observe the image, and they would check the answer. If I check this one and check, I get it wrong, I have to retry. So basically I have to get it right before I can move on. So I try this one, check, I get it right, correct. And then I can move on to the next one. So a range of different tools can be used, match the roles of the Kon-Tiki crew members with their image. So who would be the engineer, who would be the steward, who would be the leader. I'm just doing this very randomly, so don't worry if I get 0 out of whatever I'm to get. There we go, I got 2 right. So this is really quite interesting, really quite exciting. And if I duck out and go back to examples, so that's one, information and tasks you got there. You can look at simple, create a sequence of images in this way, maps. So for geography, you can start to play. Let's say you have content that works differently. You can work your way through different layouts. For example, you can zoom in here if you wish. So this might be useful for science if you're doing an online lab, etc. So I'm just running through these to give you some ideas. Of course, you have if you want to present courses, if you want to do hotspots, if you want to do let's try this one, collage of multiple choice images. So there's really quite a lot. So you have a different set of images here. You put them together, so it's a nice way of arranging images. So if you want to do science, we use tables for this on Notesmaster, so this is another way of doing it. You would then click embed. You've got your embed code here, our favorite embed word. We'd copy it. We come back to Notesmaster here, and we would have our insert embed media. We'd click embed, and we'd paste the code, and we have an example of it here. Now it's quite big, so we would probably want to try and resize it and see what happens if we go to 600. Here's our smaller size, our bigger size. If you find this happens, just tab across and delete the bigger one. So you've got a smaller size here if you want to, or you can revert back to the big one if you wanted to, which might be too big for your page. Idea is you can add the content from H5P to Notesmaster quite easily. Now, if we have a look at some of the other simpler stuff, which is very useful in terms of, I know some of you are looking at interactive slides here. You want to create PowerPoints. How do I do a PowerPoint? How does this work? So you've got a little interactive slide. So here we demonstrate that you can add many different types of questions to a presentation. We've also included different backgrounds. So there's a whole set of examples created here, and you're able to, what color do ripe cloudberries become? So if we went back here, we would have read them. Cloudberries going, the cloudberries also it's part of the rose. Each one is initially pale, ripening into an amber color in early autumn. So we go to here, amber, and we get it correct. Okay, so again, it's like a PowerPoint, but isn't it so much better than a PowerPoint? So the cloudberry is also known as, I didn't read it fully, so let me just call it apple and see what happens, and then just call it berry. I can check. Oh, I've got them incorrect. I can show myself the answer over in Arctic. So again, really quite interesting, and I have to kind of get it right before I can move across. So like a PowerPoint, like a slide share, watch the video, get some correct statements, but so much more engaging, and engaging at primary level, engaging at secondary, don't worry about this security, engaging at CSEC, engaging at CAPE, engaging at TVET. Memory games, so a lot of this whole gamification of education, classic image pairing game. So if I click on this one, raspberries, and got that one wrong, strawberries. See if, was it here? Oh no, it was, I think you were here. Here we go, raspberries. So fun way of learning about raspberries. This could equally be language, this could be, anything creative that you would deem exciting. I think strawberries are here, strawberry. So a nice way. So if you're doing Spanish, so the Spanish team, this could be a really good way of strawberry. If you're doing French, fraises, etc., you could put it that way. And a nice way of putting this degree of interactivity. Again, we would click embed. We've got our little embed code here, so we could copy it, come to Notesmaster, clear our page here, insert embed media, embed, paste along, and we've got it here. So we can then try and resize it accordingly here, as we did before. So this isn't a tutorial. This is really about you exploring, okay? It's technology we're integrating. It's about you exploring H5P, finding something that works really well for you here, and creating quite a nice immersive component of a lesson. So one of the things to show you is interactive video. A lot of us are using video. We're using video from YouTube, Creative Commons videos that is, and we put the video on the page. But we want to have that more immersive experience, don't we? We want the student to watch, and having watched, we want the learner to then make sure they can answer some questions and they're continually engaged. So if we have this little interactive video, I know to the guys in Trinidad, I try to show this and we didn't quite get through it, but if I just give you a brief example. Okay, I've got an ingredients list here. This is for my smoothie. My ingredients list, cup of milk. Okay, that's great. Okay, and I've got a multiple choice quiz. I can click on this, the video stops. What kind of berry is this? Strawberry. Check. Okay, continue, and I can progress along. So you now can create your own one of these. Okay, so if I just pause it here, if you have your own account and you go to My Account, once you've logged in, it gives you Create New Content. So if you click Create New Content, you then get a choice of the type of content you want. So spend some time, having experimented with the various different videos and examples that you have available here. Spend a little time, it's grouped by View All or Games. So some of you like games. If you look at flashcards, what have we got here with flashcards? Green sour fruit. Okay, I think this is a lime. And I check, that's perfect. Move across. Can be both sweet and sour. That's got to be a cherry. So again, if this is French, this could be something like that. In French, Spanish, Portuguese could be a really nice way of getting these concepts and learning these words across in a really exciting, engaging lesson. And I would then click Embed, and I would copy it across the same way as we would copy the video across. And having clicked Embed here, you can come here, and if we clear our page, we would just embed this content onto our Notesmaster page. So we've got a little flashcard thing here. Let's just try and resize you so you're not so big. And here we go. Okay, let's delete it up. Now, as I say, it's not a tutorial. We've got everything on our page, and if we click Lime, and then we go check, it's going to work exactly on your Notesmaster page as it did before. So you can save it, and if you were to close it, and your note opens up, and you can just scroll it, depending on your sizing. If you wanted to make your page bigger, what size is your fruit? Green, sour, lime, and it'll still work the same way on your page here, and it'll move across. So you can play with your sizing, scroll up, scroll down. But again, you can use this as a component of a lesson, so you'd maybe shrink this down or leave it big. Use it as part of a template, so if you wanted to edit it, you can insert more content around it, so it's not just a standalone component. So this could be an activity at the end. Okay, so explore these different elements. I know we've got some math teachers, so if you're looking at maths, experiment with the math ones, the math games for both primary and secondary. So click on the arithmetic and see how you go. Very simple. Solve these questions as fast as you can. 3, 2, 1. I'm ready to roll. And 5, 8's 40. Here we go. Kind of on the spot here with my little video. And the next one, 6 is 12. Okay. So again, age appropriate. Make it as hard as you want. 6, 9, 54. And make it fun in that regard. So that kind of ends the HP5 demonstration. There's a lot to look at. So do spend a lot of time finding which one works for you. It could be mark the words, create a task where you highlight. It could be a questionnaire at the end of something. Speak the words. I know some of you want to do some audio recording. So do spend a good amount of time going through each of these. Find one that works for you and then incorporate it into your lesson. To start with, you'll be working on H5P and just familiarizing yourself and embedding, but this will be available in the Notesmaster editor within the next month or two, and you can then work straight away in the editor from it. Part of it as is important, is all this content stuff is Creative Commons. Okay, that's what we're working with. We're working with Creative Commons items. So everything that we do here is under Creative Commons. Our licenses are to make sure that we can use as, we can redistribute and use it as often as possible. The creation process, you'll create, you'll save it in your account. And in your account, if I just, click on this one, you'll see you have different videos. Here's one I was just practicing with. Have a bit of fun with it. Okay, so from my point of view, we will support and help you collaborate. I know a lot of you have, okay, so here's a watercolor. And this is a video that I've embedded from YouTube. So I know a lot of you have asked for Pixton subscriptions or Storyboard, etc. Have a look at this, see what you can create here, and any problems or any challenges, just give us a call. If you have created all of your notes, do not feel that you've got to go back and go over. So for example, if you've done a really nice note here like Vianney, this is to be edited, but it's an example that's being reviewed now. Spanish, a lot of content on it. You've got your green background, you've got it set out. Nice and colourful. We'll just play with the spacings around it, instructional design elements. You've got a video in play and you've got a little activity here, and you've got a little assessment. That's fine. Do not feel that you suddenly have to go and create something new. New technologies emerge, and as these emerge, we can present them to you, and you can then explore them and decide which bits you want to add. So everything you do here is Creative Commons. So let's try and create our own digital footprint, so that when we look at other people creating content, they think, oh yes, there is a lot of content available for my subject that I can use, as opposed to the challenges that some of us are having. Okay, it is a rambly video. I make no apology for that. It's just about showing you a site while we all explore it. So any questions, just drop us a line on WhatsApp or send us an email. Okay, thank you.